Добрый день, дорогие гости, дорогие партнеры.
Dear guests, dear partners, at our today's meeting with the head of the company of SWIG, let's test our communication ways. Do you hear me well? If you hear well, then you put 10. If you have some problems with hearing, with the sound, so on my video there is a mover. You can add your volume, or on your computer, you can do it on your computer. So now I see that everyone shows 10, that we have the right to start. Now I begin. I am Maxim Isip, member of the board of directors of the department, investment department of our company, a manager on strategic development of our partnership network. And on marketing, I am the president of this company and a certified trainer for Master Profer and the tutor of Andrei Fedorovich. I've been working with this fund for since 2014, and in fact, for the last 5 years, I've been a partner of our company, and many of you know very well that we have in the future a grandiose jubilee event in 2 weeks' time in the sunny India, and our meeting of today will be devoted to this. But in particular, I would like to say that since it is 28th of September, September is almost over. We will be pleased to show and demonstrate what we have achieved during the period of Crypto Unit program, in particular during September, and in general since March 30, when this program was started. And we will present the news. Switching to the 8th stage of development of this program, we will also say some items related to organizational issues related to Eventi 2019, and also we'll talk about promotional. You will hear good news today, and also we will answer the questions that you may have. And the format of today's meeting is as follows. At the beginning, we will talk about our financial results, and these results will be presented in our information. After that, we, members of this department, they will share information with you, information which will be valuable for everyone present. We will talk about the work done by every colleague of me during September, and I'm sure that you will hear a lot of valuable things from my colleagues. After members of this investment department appear, I will give this latest news, promotional news of our companies. That is our format for today. And before I give the floor to our financial director, I'd like to involve you in the opinion poll, answering the question whether you are present at similar event for the first time or not, or you are doing this regularly and permanently, or you are present for the second, the third time. Now you will see on your screen this form. You may answer this question, because statistics in our business, or what we are doing, this is very important indeed. And it is important for us to understand what is the audience. We are very happy to see that we have many participants on this Saturday. You may vote not through the chat, but through this poll. There is a polling fixture option. I see that our geography of Russian-speaking partners is very scaled. Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, and Far East, Siberia, Irkutsk. It's nice. I see that 10% of our participants are new people who are for the first time at this event. That's nice. 10% of them, it's good for all of us. Dear colleagues, I'd like to say outright that all questions that you may have, you will ask them at the end of our today's meeting, so that we do not distract our attention, but we should be focused on the relevant topic. After we have finished, then we will be pleased to answer your questions if you have any by that time. Okay, agreed? So then, dear friends, it's my pleasure to introduce Igor Romanenko, who is our financial director and the manager of portfolio, SWIG portfolio. He has been a professional investor for a number of years and private trader for the last 6 years. Igor has been an investment advisor for the Academy of Private Investment, leads the line of development of companies of the SWIG company, and is director on management of assets of the crypto unit portfolio. Also, I would like to add that Igor Romanenko is a counselor of the president of our partnership network. We would like to congratulate him today, and now Igor Romanenko will give the figures, which are amazing and overwhelming results of generation our investment portfolio. The floor is yours, Igor. Now you may switch on or start it. I welcome you, dear friends. Do you hear me well? Thank you to everyone. I'm happy to see all of you. Since the time changes, we will try to, I had to move to change my area. Now I'm closer to Europe, in Moscow at the time being. Therefore, everyone who is close to Moscow, we can meet in Moscow, in our Moscow office, in the southeastern part of Moscow, at the relevant address. We can teach you in whatever issues you need to be trained. Now we move to our webinar. Given this fact that I have a presentation for you, I would like to go through and show you the latest lines. When we invested some money into new lines, this is one will be in one of the last slides. And since a long time has passed in that period, you know that I often speak about these issues for a long time, but I decided to show everything in one slide, everything that we have had in these directions from the very beginning, the main companies that we invested. These are the icons which are of interest for us. You may see them here, and you may give these screens and see the results. Maybe this is minor, very small, but the last column, the growth of our capital, the number of companies that we had in September we had two things which we did not take part in, that are as our minuses. When you go into some direction of work, you should evaluate. Some companies, such as change fails, so they have now some negative figures, but we have positive figures, and this is the result of the work of the biggest income of this beyond company, 450% of increase of capital, of the growth of capital. The slide speaks about for what was the input value, what's the number of stocks bought, and the increase of capital in percentage. For businessmen, it would be of interest. For investors, the percentage is the most thing. Where businessman is counting the numbers for the payback in a specific period of time. This is for businessmen. And then we move to another line, a direction. I would like to say that we are trying to find a company that would provide services to us, services on investment of money, more money to invest, because so far investments are rather small. Now our market is dying out, and some sales will start in a month, 2 or 3. If sales start now, and this is in USA, this is the end of the fiscal year, and all of them pay their wages to the end of the year, and historically September is the worst month. It's better not to buy something in September. Mathematically, the probability is very high of this, but on the market, actually, nobody would know what would happen. The next line is, I will give brief, the most profitable thing is investment funds. The incomes, the revenues from May are here shown, even from April are shown here on the screen. There are figures, 1.5% in April, 1.7% capital growth in May, in June 2.3%, in July 3.3%, in August 3.4%, in September more than 3%. And you may see that the total investment in this sector increased, reaching to 575,000. But we plan to have it more than 1 million. This will be probably the most volatile month on the financial market, and that will help to increase the capital. Here, the money work in the managing companies, some of them are the most profitable. They are regulated by the Central Bank of the Russian Federation. The next investment is, this is the Russian fund. The company which we invest is on your screen. This is one of the companies which we bought and which was sold. Ambassador and Trend. They sell and buy more than the most unknown things and funds which grow up or drop easily with X2, X3. This is more professional terminology, but there is special strategy based on the disintegration of one of these items. Through its volatility, it drops further by the end of the year, and you can earn 20, 25, 30%. But I didn't know about this, but I saw this, learned about this. It gave the opportunity to apply this tool, and the disintegration rate is 80-90%. If somebody wants to have more detail, when you are here, I will talk to them and give them more information. And we have this through a broker, American one, which is very well known. We plan to open it in India because we have a lot of monetary funds in India, and the Indian stock exchange is at this specific level, minimum level. American at the top level. Possibly if we open dollars accounts, I will give you this information on Avanti about the Indian stock market. This broker you can open through it anywhere in South Korea, in Russia, USA. This because the stocks are traded with for the last 10 years in New York Stock Exchange. We invested a certain amount in this, and I will tell about this at the end. From the European broker, we opened an account. I congratulate you with this. We invested this with 360,000 euros. Why? Because this broker asked, what about this amounts in euros? So there may be a situation, it is not trendy. There may be a parity between euro and dollar. Everything goes to the income or revenues is not as high as we would like to have, but I'm sure that what we are doing, this is right. If something, the price moves to this side, we know how to do it, how to control. 2 weeks ago, this price went to a different direction. We didn't understand this, how to do it, but now the price went back, returned back, and with some good profit. But if the price moves, for our benefit, and this is very important in trading, control of one's own investment. The next thing is what we have. This is portfolio, and I'm again connected. Let's have a look at countries and amounts in September using this criterion. I'd like to congratulate all leaders. On your slide, you see the first top 10 countries by the amounts in September, this September. Southern Africa 10, then Russia, Australia, USA, Vietnam, Australia, India. You see how India is an obvious leader here. I congratulate on Indians with these amounts. You can see the country which does the most in this respect. I congratulate all this: India, Australia, Vietnam, the first three, the three leaders. Most probably there is Kazakhstan in one of these places. Thank you, maybe yes. India, Australia, Vietnam, and then we will mention also the amounts for the last 6 months, and we will see, which country is the leader in the amounts in the last 6 months in crypto units. Now we don't see it month by month, but the idea to show it for the last 6 months. And the fifth country is really Kazakhstan, which ranks fifth in September, 1.323 $3 million, or we may account them differently. Now we proceed. Other sales amounts, we calculate them by month through this crypto unit program from the beginning of the year. Now let's have a look at the amounts at the beginning and what we have now. The figures were made last night late because September is not over yet. You see the SWIG at the beginning made more than 8 million return, and the second is 7.7. In 5 months, in March, April, May, June, July, August, it is even more. You see the crypto unit program increases its return. And for the beginning, since the beginning of the year, this is the amount of return for one program. This is the real for SWIG, and for crypto unit more than 2 million sales amounts from the beginning of the year, more than $136 million or units. We call them units. If we take the total amount what we had in SWIG fund, this is 129 million units. You can see it. And if we take the total amount of SWIG from the very beginning, this is more than 231 millions. If accordingly, if you take this year, over this year, they did it 136 million, and over almost 5 years, it was $231 million. If we divide them, then that is, we have more than 59% of the total return was in the last 9 months. Almost 60% of the entire return that we couldn't do in the previous 5 years, and that is due to the crypto unit program. You see the amount of increase of monetary funds through this program, and I want to congratulate you with this. The investments are growing, and the record figures are here. The absolute investment amount was last year 23 or total over 25 million. As of today in the morning, it shows only 20 because there is some lag, and it may change. We plan to have a new record by the end of the month. And we calculated the bonuses paid through the partnership program, more than 42 million. This is bonus on partnership program from the beginning of the year. What went through over the entire period of time. I will show these figures here. This is more than 72 million units. If you take from the 1st of October 2014 till September this year, more than $72 million went to the partnership network. The people earn this money through this. Now, could we have involved this investment if it were not for the partnership network? I think you know it for sure. This is a good incentive, over 72 million, to give to the people who earn this money. So we proceeded. We have been talking about this about the procurement of the company. I will tell you more details. And we will give the names of the companies which have been bought. Some of them we started already, some not. But we have two brokers who will be owned by us, and you will get more detailed information. For the time being, I may say that the Cyprus broker we have opened and transferred more than $360,000. For the American broker, we need 1 week, 1.5 weeks. We talked yesterday to our American broker for about 10 minutes. Many issues we went through properly or thoroughly. In November, we on this event we will exchange of stocks in order to have legally we should have this investment fund in legal terms. And one more file I would like you to add to this presentation, if possible. Then what I would like to show you, what we did this month. We invested this month $750 to Sushi Master. We made a contract before, if you remember. Diamonds or Almazy, that meant the investment is 280 and the shareholding capital of Shikart 250,000. In Sushi Master this month we plan to invest. This is the amount was used for franchise, and we have absolute monopoly in Belarus for Sushi Master in Belarus. Nobody has the right to go to this market in Belarus. And 750,000, this is the capital of this company. I remember I was given information about what they plan for in the next 2 months, when they are rather strong, and the cost of the company on capitalization is 150 millions, and then after that, their price will be about 1.5 billion. That you understand what should be the cost for us to sell the one we are buying. We now have options. We're getting options only now, and in the future we may sell them. This is the plan for this. Oleg Sinovsky, I like him very much with his philosophy for 20 or 30 years in the future. In Diamonds Almazy, we invested over $280,000. We were not able to do it for a long time, but then we did it, and next week we invest the remaining part, and we will cover all this amount of $1 million growing of diamonds. And as I said, this is stocks or shareholding capital of Shikart with this. We have Serek as a partner in Kazakhstan, and we invested $250,000, and then we invested already recently $250,000 into in Cure Code, which we call it, and we agreed that we will invest $2.5 million into the stocks of this company, and this is high percentage through our law department or legal diplomatically agreed with the people from this company that the bonus was received, and because we bought the stocks of this company, I am grateful to our legal department. This is the last of the last news. More detailed things. We will have people on the event. We will have people representative of our investment projects, and you will see these people live and learn about them. And who visits Minsk, we have them there, and they have been speaking already. Okay, dear friends, everything which is left, which I haven't said because of the time limit, I will have 40-50 minutes. We will talk together with my partner on financial, on Avanti in a big hall in India, in New Delhi. Therefore, all of you who are willing, I invite you to this large-scale and fantastic event. We'll talk about this later. So, see you again in India. Thank you very much, dear friends. I'm happy to see and to work with you and to work for you and many people who are very knowledgeable in finances and investment. Okay, dear friends, I give the floor to the next person. The next speaker is member of the Department of. I give the floor to you, Maxim Isip. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Igor, for very valuable information. I would like to ask you to stay with us till the end of this meeting, if you have such opportunity. Yes, I do have such opportunity. Thank you for this. At the end of this, we will be talking on this topic. Now I would like to present introduce Jaiba, who is one of the second president of the SWIG company, and also this is the person who in the last 3 years, from the very scratch, from the very simple steps, has done a lot of things in this business, and now he has more than 100,000 things around the world and always flying. And there was a question whether he would be present, but we are happy to see him now. I will give the floor to you and please give you information. Good morning, dear friends. Do you see me well? Do you hear me well? Put minuses or pluses. Yesterday I came from Moscow. I stayed there five days. Important negotiations were there with the people I mentioned. So we will have good important news on Avanti. So this event, such as Avanti, this happens once in our life. This is the event that everyone wants to have it, but hardly can anyone participate in it then. But since you have the time to participate in the global event from Russia, Australia, India, Ukraine, specialists would come to the event. But now I'd like to talk about how it is important to be there and why. When I began my work in this business, I didn't understand at that time how important it was attending the events. for about almost 4 years ago, I learned about this business, but I didn't want to get involved. I thought that this is not my things, but when I invented for the first event, I didn't want to go there. Why should I spend money to go there? What I will find, what will earn from it? Such feelings I had. But then I decided to go, and I will guarantee that after that event, when my life and the life of many people from the sector have changed. And I know that many of you don't know how to decide to go to Avanti or not to go. I don't to persuade anyone here speaking in front of you. What I'd like to say is that everyone is to take her own decision. If you want to get involved in this global movement, NEMI, to know what NEMI means, how an ordinary man can change in 6 months his or her life, if they wanted to very strongly, and how they may become co-owner of the economy, simply speaking. I expect you to, I'm waiting for you at Avanti. You will learn very energetic people who have reached success, will share the results. I will be there and share about important things that I've used in my life. Initially, I didn't understand it properly, but I started to understand it when I had it from Havratov. Then, for sure, 100% sure, you will find what you need there. Once again, I want to congratulate you with these results. And during this month, the period, crypto unit is also in demand. This program is in demand. The program is scaling up, and we are buying new assets always. And this is not the first step we want to make, to introduce new things in the global economy. I will be I will share my secrets, how I viewed my business, my life, and I have become successful at Avanti, and I will communicate with all of you. We'll learn about your problems. We will work together with you. We will give more detailed information. I wait you at Avanti. Please invite your friends. It's a global event, more than 20,000 participants. Be trendy, be successful, be developing, teach, and help other people. All the best to you, and see you soon. Thank you, Petro, for this information and advice you gave to our partners. I'm sincerely grateful. I give the floor to Jamila Jusunbekov, our legendary partner, who became part of our history, of our fund, because Jamila was the first president of SWIG fund, and for the last 3 years she demonstrates stable growth in not only in her region. Jamila Jusunbekova is a member of the advisory board in our department on investment. She also represents her company in Kazakhstan and also certified trainer. And Jamila Jusunbekova has a presidential team who brings her team, sharing her success stories, how they build it, and also her experience of being a president. We invite you. Good afternoon, dear friends. Do you hear and see me well? It's good. I'm looking through our chat. Some people write, Tatiana, the same event here, what is to talk about? Indeed, we are very close to our 5-year anniversary, the first good things, event, and we are very proud of it. And we will have the event that are very rare across the world, and tens of thousands of people get together in one hall, sharing the achievements. We're proud of this. We will be talking about event as the global event that we expect to have it in the history of our company, which we make this history ourselves. You had the representation by Igor Romanenko. Indeed, we do have something to be proud of. The figures that we got from receipt of this month, more than $136 million. Of them, $42 million the fund money, the fund of our salaries, this marketing bonuses program. What is good that this fund depends on our efforts. We don't need to ask some bonuses. You are when you are included into some tariff program. We're doing this by ourselves, and this makes our results for September very good. This is the final month before our 5th anniversary, and where we had this team spirit. Really, we had very noticeable results, amazing results. Today in Kazakhstan, by the results of September, we have more than 40 people are in the top in the partnership program. More than 12 persons I counted yesterday are the status of the advisors to the president. 6 or 7 of our people became presidents. About 10 people, not only from Kazakhstan, would come to our event as in the status of presidents of the partnership program. The same as Kyrgyzstan. There are some advisors to the president. Now, by the end of our promotion, why do we need this? Why? Because this shows us that what was your input into development of our project. Every status means people, the number of people whom you helped to find the road, to understand our business. It's always good. We need these festivals, not as corporate events. We have our own history, our own festival, our own anniversary. It's good for our anniversary. We are approaching with these outcomes. For the entire company, about 30 or more presidents will attend this fantastic event. Also, I'd like to give you one small secret. The company is getting ready to organize this event or this festival in a nice way. Some our people have been for months in India trying to prepare for this event, and that will be a good event to summarize our results. A lot of official news will be presented. Not all news can be given out now, but the official news will be presented at this event. And everything that we planned, or even more than that, you will hear all the presentations and reports. I'm overwhelmed with emotions talking to you today because we are on the eve of this event, but in reality, September has gone by rapidly because all the regions are involved in this. We have very good promotion, a nice, excellent promotion. 20 units as event for every newly registered person. This is a very nice present for you. Therefore, September for us, for Kazakhstan, was very, very fruitful. Speaking about Mongolia, we have new top managers. We started the new in Ulaanbaatar office. In Kyrgyzstan, give good revenues, and then in Uzbekistan, an official open was started. They have new leaders, top managers, at least in my team, the first manager leader. That's to say everywhere. Our crypto union program is scaling up because people do understand that these are, first of all, what we need. We ordinary people need it.
This is actually, there is no other place where by paying quite a small amount of money you can become a co-owner, and our program enables you to do this. Therefore, once again, I am appealing to the Asian market I'm coordinating. Our outcomes were amazing. And you see that the entire team makes a good turnover, meaning that ordinary people support us. What is Tatiana writing? So she's writing something. Well, those that may not like, I think, first of all, this is your problem, because our program is a good opportunity and a good chance, because we can change our lives, the life of our towns and cities, our country, when we are admitted to such communities which bring new values, new economic evolution, new financial knowledge sharing with people. And actually, always we are doing someone else's business, but here we are doing our own business, running our own business, the people's business. And therefore, for our newbies, those that are tuned to this workshop only for the first time, you shall be engaged. And actually, I realized myself when I participated at such a large event of the company, and I believe that people that will come to Aventi, they will enjoy a very large opportunity, because there are no other projects in the globe. And we are one of the first to start this first popular program. And now I would like to say that it is not late to purchase the tickets to the event, and actually our members do it this way. New people come to hear the presentation and immediately they want to go to this large event, and you have this chance to visit this large-scale event the company is preparing for you. Maxim? Well, actually, I wanted to share the atmosphere with you, which we have in Asia, in Kazakhstan, at the edge to this event. Everyone is busy. The office is open till 11-12 p.m. because many people come after work and hear the information. The leaders work there 10 hours because they want to show the excellent results at our amazing event. Maxim, you are our next speaker. Jamila, thank you very much for your information. Our next speaker is Ahmed Murnix, who is the director of the Department of Multi-Crowd Investing. He is our top leader in our presidential team, in the team of capturing the global market. He is developing his teams in all the continents of the globe, and he also cooperates with our fund and is a member of the board for a number of years and represents our company in the UK and is the director of the Global Transnet UK and is the private investor, the international speaker, since he was trained by the lead coaches in speaking in front of large audiences. And it's not by chance that he is the best motivational speaker of 2018 in accordance with the Financial Times Journal survey. He is also the president of SWIG and the certified trainer for Master Profi. Armand, I do invite you to join our workshop. I will clarify, maybe Armand is on his way. Wait a second, please. Well, dear friends, at present, Armand seems to be on his way because I know that he worked with his partners in a different country. If he is in time, then he will join us. But now let's move on to our final news. Well, dear friends, very relevant, important information, and I would like to stress it and focus it. Well, each of you received in the backup office the news about some limitations and prohibitions on the use of some videos and materials on the promotion of SWIG. I've seen that in the chat, some of you, many of you actually asked this question. Well, I will do the following way. First of all, I would like to learn your views. What do you think? Why do you think we actually take this very radical and solid step? In the Russian-speaking chat, I see over 500 people present. Please write this down. It's important to understand how you perceive this information when you see it. Angelina is writing that quite probably there is a precedent, an incident. Another reason is not to spoil the reputation of the company by spreading the fake information. Alexei Bardovsky, the information is always to be accurate, not to hurt, to avoid fake, inaccurate information, the single approach. Victor from Stalingrad writes that he hears us badly. I will increase my volume. Can you hear me better now? Well, better now. Great. So the second item, let's discuss one by one. First of all, dear friends, let's come back to the history of the development of Skyway and look that throughout 35 years before multi-crowd investing was launched, the promotion of that technology was quite troublesome. And in 2014, due to multi-crowd investing, this technology became a success, and we all know this, and we all know that now, thanks to multi-crowd investing, the technology is already entering the international market. But at the same time, dear friends, the technology has both its supporters and its opponents, or some side effects or factors which may prevent this. This technology has been supported by hundreds of thousands of people from the globe, and each of us supporting this technology actually gets excited with the results we have now. But, dear friends, apart from the support of the technology by such immense number of people, the technology is like on my hand, on the palm, open, and you clearly see that the Skyway company, ZAO Stream Technologies, quite openly share all the information about what they are doing, about their achievements, strategy, and in terms of the information, the technology is under the constant observation of the outside market. Now, I refer not only to the supporters who get involved through the multi-crowd investing, but we do also know that the technology today, a part of the technology, will be showcased in a different country, not Belarus, but in the United Arab Emirates. And I will not tell you a secret, dear friends, if I say that we all together, people representing different nations, have different mindsets. Will you agree with this? Yes, you will. And even the people that may be friends, but they are from different countries, even the sense of humor in every country is different. If, for example, a Russian guy will tell you to say to the US guy one joke, a US guy may not actually understand it the way the Russian will understand it. And the same applies to the story when a US guy jokes. This joke may not be absorbed correctly because of these different mindsets. And the same applies to the Asian and Eastern worlds. We are all different in terms of our thinking. And even if we are, as partners, that get inspired with the results achieved and are very excited about what is going on to the development of Skyway technologies, it may not be perceived positively always. Do you understand what I mean? Nikolai, please open the chat, because I want to see the feedback from our partners. Well, I see it. Thank you. And dear friends, when we, together with you, use pictures, photos, videos, for example, featuring the development of the technology in the United Arab Emirates, not always our partners, someone of our colleagues wrote it correctly that there is a precedent, and our partners may not always correctly say what is exactly happening to the development of Skyway technology. This information is not always accurate, official, authentic, and at the same time we have many such precedents now. And we must understand that the consciousness, perception or attitude to this information we share, it can actually depend and affect the position of the technology in the international market. And now we are talking about the official showcase of this technology in United Arab Emirates. You know that we are doing a lot of work in this regard, and we all know that Stream Technologies cooperates with different governmental agencies in this country, including the Transport Department of RTA, of Emirates Dubai, and a number of other governmental offices and authorities. And believe me, I will repeat it, but nonetheless, we are the supporters of the Skyway, of Stream Skyway, like we are positioned on our palm or on our hand. And any inaccurate action or any inaccurate data about the promotion of the technology, about the plans of the company, when we are sharing our views, our perception, personal perception, then it would be a very dramatic reputational harm, not actually the risk, reputational risk, but the reputational harm and damage to the company. And you remember I told you that different mindsets, different ways of thinking, and it's normal, we are all different. And not everything which is shared in the market of the CIS, Commonwealth countries, could be understood by our partners from Eastern and Asian nations. Do you understand what I mean? And therefore, to avoid these unclear situations and to avoid these very difficult to remedy reputational damage to SWIG, and we all know that SWIG company and String Technologies is our strategic partner, and over the 5 years we've been supporting and are still supporting the development of this technology and help its promotion, certification, and showing by our involvement, financial engagement. And this is the reason, dear friends, the decision was made by SWIG to ban the use of any non-official, non-validated information about the development of Skyway technologies and spread it through internet or social media or any other resources. Then, the use of landing. So everything related to the promotion of Skyway, landing, photos, videos, again, are prohibited. The use of this is prohibited, meaning that if before you had some landings aimed at the promotion of Skyway, SWIG now prohibits this to be done. I would even say more. Now, dear friends, actually I've mentioned this a number of times at our offline events, webinars, seminars. The success of Skyway technologies and the result the company would like to achieve is dependent at this particular moment not on crowd investing, but on the technical aspects and geopolitical situation in the countries. Do you understand what I mean? Tatiana, I do apologize. I see your feedback that all these prohibitions make us suspicious. Well, Tatiana, I will explain the precedent. If you don't understand the seriousness and importance of all these bans, I will explain how it is. When our partners or our supporters of Skyway technologies get very excited and can say some things that, for example, the Skyway technologies conquered this or that country, so conquered this or that country, the thinking, the way of thinking of other countries, and particularly if this information is posted and seen by the officials, senior officials of governmental authorities and those that actually influence the development of the technology, this information, these posts could actually damage everything from dozens of our excited supporters. And therefore, there is the adequate perception and non-adequate, non-appropriate perception. But since the company, we are the company as a partner, we as a partner company of String Technologies, we are very interested in the success and entering of this technology of the market, so we can impose this ban or prohibition, because there are some things some colleagues of us may not understand clearly, but that actually this is your task to understand clearly why this is the way and we have these prohibitions, and to put yourselves into the shoes of the management of the company, or put yourselves into the shoes of Anatoly Yunitsky, for example, who actually invests all his efforts and endeavors into the development of this technology, and we, through our unconscious actions, can actually harm this process, and therefore landing photos, videos about the promotion of this technology, particularly those, so in general those, any materials that relate to this, except for the information which is simply posted on the official resource of Skyway company web resource and our official resources and our group in the social media or in the YouTube channel. No. Andrei is writing, why can't we use the materials which were at the official website Skyway? Andrei, once again, I will repeat. First of all, you wrote how to invite the people. Where do you want to invite the people to? We, the SWIG company, we provide training and sell access to the training we offer. If you've been with us for a long time or you participate in our presentations, you must understand how we work, and throughout 5 years the way we supported Skyway technologies and how we do it now. If you don't understand, then I will repeat it and say it again. Over the 5 years, all the clients of SWIG paid for their access to training, and they get this access. And as a bonus, they get the stake in Skyway, and therefore, when you cooperate with the SWIG fund, I don't know what you actually mean by your question. How do I invite the people? Landing of SWIG, these landings are not accessible anymore, and each of you, Ivan Samosevich, is asking, are all the funds imposing these prohibition? Yes, I'm quite sure that all the partner companies cooperating with String Technologies will set up these bans, because the 5 years of hard work could be simply dependent on some unconscious actions of the people who actually support the technology. I will explain why. I will use one wise statement. The West is a very fragile thing, and our admiration is not always perceived as admiration. It could be viewed as a threat or the offense. You know, if I tell you, for example, this statement that we conquered this or that country, you know what I mean by saying this, that we want to enter the market, for example, or we took a long journey, but the person who is governing some governmental processes could actually perceive this statement in a totally different way. And therefore, dear friends, I don't think that I need to repeat it dozens of times to explain the importance of this. Okay, we are moving on. What do you mean under the ban, under the prohibition? If you have a look, yes, Valentina actually said it correctly. Mr. Yunitsky spoke about this in his report at EcoFest. Yes, you can again watch the message of Mr. Yunitsky, and he mentioned this. Well, in terms of the referrals or recommendations about the personal assessments or the comments in the social media, it's clear, dear friends, that we cannot stop the freedom of speech and comment on some official resources of the company, some news, but we strongly encourage and recommend you to restrain from these comments. We are not prohibiting for you to comment, but we encourage you not to do it. I gave you an example because even your admiration could be viewed and perceived as insulting someone. And therefore, please believe me, the Skyway technologies and its supporters are very seriously, robustly monitored, inspected, and observed from a side. And actually, we've passed the period long ago when we were viewed as fools, as foolish. They said at that time that you would never achieve this. We've passed that period. and now we are simply neglecting some negative, not negative actually, some untrust. We clearly know that everything will be done and everything will be implemented and realized. So we've taken a long path, and now this geopolitical aspect is very important to consider. And therefore, now our ban applies, once again, I will sum up. So we prohibit to, once again, Olga, you are writing, landings which are posted. You cannot use them. They are not available in your back office. All the landings on the promotion and spread of information on Skyway technologies are prohibited to be used. You do not have access to them in your backup office, because to my information, our IT department actually terminated this access, and therefore this ban applies to the use of non-official or non-validated information. Secondly, to use the landings, photos, video materials on the promotion of the Skyway technologies. Your personal views about the events related to the promotion of the technologies and treat it as the official is prohibited as well, because actually we could be prosecuted, because when we share some information which is not accurate and it could be a precedent, the company can file a claim against such people. Dear friends, we are not playing a game. We are not in a kindergarten. We are not, I do apologize for being straightforward, we are not cheating anyone. Yes, we are interested and did everything to make the Skyway technologies successful. Therefore, you must understand some important stages and milestones in the implementation and development of this project. And we, as SWIG company, I would like to stress it, we are very interested in it. And therefore, dear friends, we strongly recommend you not to participate in the comments, which may be positive. We may be excited and admire something, but they can be perceived by the strategic partners of Skyway as insulting. And therefore, dear friends, now everything is dependent on the consciousness of each of us. The tools you created yourselves, including landing, which are not about the SWIG company, the responsibility is on your shoulders, and you will be held liable against the company. And therefore, our tip of advice is as follows. In case you have some proprietary landings about this, please stop using them. And if you promoted it through the internet, through the advertising, please stop the processes. But landings about the SWIG, so we prohibit them to be used, and you don't have them anymore in your backup offices. So actually, I think that I managed to answer your questions. If you still believe that something is not clear, please again rewatch the speech of Mr. Yunitsky at the EcoFest at the 11th of August. So therefore, please be conscious, be wise, and understand correctly these straightforward and formal decisions we took. Thank you very much for this. Well, now, dear friends, we will come back to our topic, what to expect next. And I will tell you as well that 5 years of work of SWIG fund and the implementation of Skyway technologies is a large portfolio for each of us. And thanks to multi-crowd investing, we showed, and I always like this statement, that from the pictures, from the layouts, we can actually give birth to the entire industry. Today, before this meeting, I actually looked through some negative feedback. Dear friends and guests who wrote all this stuff, I strongly encourage you to watch the expanded presentation of what we are doing. Maybe you are not understanding the role which is played by the multi-crowd investing in our business. And if you compare with our 5-year work we did and what we actually managed to implement through multi-crowd investing, and dear friends, what we are doing now by developing the global multi-investment portfolio, we are actually doing it through multi-crowd investing. And without this alternative, non-standard, unusual way of working, we would never achieve this. And therefore, I saw a question, why only at Avanti the information about the latest findings and news, and why do we need to go there? Well, if you have this question that you may not understand how multi-crowd business operates, multi-crowd investment operates, and you may not understand that the anniversary of the company is a new milestone of the development of our fund, and actually we will devote or dedicate the latest news or the new processes, approaches, that is actually the reason for such anniversaries. And this is the point of counting before and after. And each of you, in any case, will learn these news some time after the event is over. But the first people to learn it are those present at the event. Those present, they will naturally get for themselves the information in a totally different way. I will give you an example. Many of you, most of you, actually like some sports event, the stadium, to enjoy the football. But is there a difference between watching a match at the stadium and in front of your TV? So when you enjoy football live, sitting at the stadium, the atmosphere and environment is totally different. You absorb in a different way the course of the game, of the match, and you cheer up your team in a different way in the place where there are another 50,000 people sitting and cheering for their favorite team. But when you are staying at home, dear friends, these are not the emotions we need, and the perception of the information is different. And therefore, if you translate this into our event, please believe me, when there are 20,000 people united by one idea, aiming at one goal or objective, the synergy is totally different. The energy and the energetical perception spirit is different. And this is a chance to meet the management of the company, to see them live, and there will be some entertainments. I can actually compare it to a concert of your favorite singer, the generation of the 80th, 90th century. So your visit to the Scorpions or Queen's concert, so this is totally different. I have such friends who tell me that I visited their concerts, Scorpions concerts at that time, or I was at the performance of the actor and I had a picture with him or her. So dear friends, this is the cultural and spiritual development. I'm giving an example, you understand this? And if you like a singer, any singer for example, it's better and cooler for you to listen to him live rather than staying or listening to his voice through your headphones or through the internet. Therefore, dear friends, this is your cultural, spiritual development when you attend such events. And moreover, you are a co-owner of the company. And if you recommend and you participate in the distribution of the profits of the company, and then, dear friends, I do not understand where we have these questions from, as Andrei asked today. and a few other guys. I don't understand why. I don't understand your questions. If you are a co-owner of the company, if you are our partner, well, you may not go, but then why are you writing these things in the chat? Or you may not be satisfied with something, then live your life, enjoy the life you are living now, and get the do not get the benefits our fund provides, or enjoy the benefits our fund is providing. Actually, we are not saying some empty words. We are not doing something non-transparent. We are running the multi-crowd investing business. And the fact that today you haven't heard all the figures for the entire period of our work, and the problem is that maybe you find it quite difficult to go to our official YouTube channel and to watch all the presentations where we share all the results, all our achievements. But you must understand that the entire information throughout the entire period of the formation of the investment portfolio will be shared in October. And actually, Igor Romanenko does not find it feasible to share this expanded information featuring all the financial status, because this information will be shared at the official 5th anniversary of our company. And now maybe I'm talking very straightforward, but my message is, those of you who do not understand or are not willing to understand what we are doing, please do not waste your time on being with us, wasting your 1 hour and a half at weekends and not getting satisfaction from what we are doing. Do your stuff, do your business, live your life, and if you are our client, simply get the benefits we give to you.
So, dear friends who are together with us in the same boat, moving along the same line, the same way, and who are our supporters, I would like to remind that by October 12th, before you need to register in Crypto Unit, you have the opportunity to give your new clients the opportunity to have a bonus of 20 units. Then they will have this discount. The people who are your friends will have the discount of 20 units to select the comfortable package, including many different courses on training in investment and finances, and that will give them an opportunity to have these points through Crypto Unit. This is not the end. By the end of that period, you get 10 additional Crypto Units through the package that you select for yourself. Therefore, my friends, we have only 2 days left, or 29th and 30th of September. You have this opportunity to use this present or in the form of bonuses that we provide you. Also, Jubilee promotion that we have, which is in force till September 30. And I'd like to remind you that every one of you has the opportunity to take part in it. The deadline is almost here, and the first 10 persons, not only lucky men, they were really hardworking people who have done a lot over this period of time during this promotion period, and each of them will get their own awards according to their merits. Such as the apartment on the sea to our apartment, who ranks the first. The second and the third will be Mercedes-Benz or BMW or Lexus. The fourth and the fifth, we will pay to our partners the trip to Maldives, luxury trip. to those who earned this. And places 6 to 10, we will pay your participation in the training in Goa in October 15-17, after event for the leaders of the company, from the company leaders of higher rank, their stay, their accommodation in that place. According to the conditions of this promotion campaign, you need to become an advisor or counselor yourself to involve more advisors and to grow in your rank. And also we take into account the turnover that you made over this period of time. I have very good news for you. This promotion on express qualification that we have, not this very promotion, Jubilee promotion, but the promotion on express qualification is extended till October 15 this year. This means that each of you has the opportunity to get involved now, to work more over this period of time in order to grow in your career. And this promotion includes the better conditions for you to grow in your career, to improve this 2 times, and to become an advisor or lead manager or whatever else. You need to have 4 skilled or qualified partners with the same status as you have now. This is 2 times, the number 2 times smaller. 2 agents and you as an advisor. 2 advisors, you leader. 2, you manager. 2 managers, you are top manager, etc. In order to have the advisor to the manager, there is a new marketing plan, and accordingly these better conditions for you to be for the president frontline and was the backline president, and one advisor frontline advisor, backline advisor, and you as the president. For the status of the president of the conditions are better, simpler, to go to the personal crypto unit cabinet. And for those who are presidents, 13,000 instead of 26,000. So this is now very golden time now. These are SWIG conditions, as I call them, and such promotions will not be here in the next 5 years of how to grow in your career and career in your company. This is made exclusively for this 5th anniversary of our fund, for you to give the opportunity to make good basis, to work through your network using the highest status after this Jubilee. This is the news that will be provided through Avanti. They will really help change the history of your business for the better. Therefore, you have the opportunity now to get ready in a more way and have a better status in your career now. As of the 1st of October, we will start 2 new information products like master course after Avanti, and there will be in your personal cabinet in the next month. Please follow what is published there, follow this news, and there will be a Jubilee package, including very interesting presents, but you will learn about this in the near time through our news. And I'd like to mention that it will be very limited in number, and this present will be please follow closely the news in the near future on our website. Over this period of time, indeed, we have had a wave of different conferences in dozens of countries across the world, organized large-scale events, presentations, conferences in Austria, Peru, in my favorite country, Ukraine. We organized it in Odessa, in Kherson, and Lvov, in other regions. And in our country, we do see some growth, and it's very inspiring. I am trying to be a champion of this for my country, also Estonia, Nigeria, Western countries, Belarus, Oman, New Zealand. This is geographical names of the countries and the events that we organize there. You may follow through our news events in your personal cabinets. If you have partners in some countries where the conferences are organized, you may invite your guests. In the near future, till October the 5th, a number of events will be organized in Russia, Australia, Oman, Colombia, and the place, the venue, and the time will be shown in this news. And also, I'd like to remind that very soon we will organize an event, the major event of this course, of this year, that will change the life of many people, indeed, because people who attend this event will have another point of view, a different stand towards their life, towards their business, etc. Everything that you hear at those events, these are the events that will become part of your personal history and will change your life. And Petru said today his life was changed after his participation in the first event 3 years ago in Yahuntas. After that, he started to grow, because at that time he was 25 only. He was a very young man who decided to change his life, came to the event, had some things that changed his life, and now look at him. He earns thousands and thousands of units every month across the world. Nothing can prevent you from repeating this success, and we have more and more dozens of people of those who go through promote through crowd investing. I'd like also to mention about the organizational things you should take into account before you come to that event. I'd like to remind that many countries you have to get visas to go to India. You have 10 days to organize to go through such technical items like getting visa, buying an air ticket, to book hotels, to buy air tickets, to choose the flight which is convenient for you. These are the things that this is the deadline is very soon, and if you are a manager of a company now, you have to come there before that, in advance, on the 11th of October, to visit a special event for the managers of the companies, and then to join a jubilee event, the 5th anniversary of SWIG Fund, which will be organized in Delhi on the stadium. And during those 2 days, you will get information not only about the development of fund, but they will give us information. Information will be given by the partner companies where we invest our money through a crypto unit. Those are the leaders of the companies who are our partners. Also, a lot of information will be given on social market from Yanovsky, who will attend this event and be speaking there. And from 14th to 17th of October, since we extended the promotion on express qualification, you have the opportunity to attend leader management training session during these days from 14th to 17th October. Therefore, also I would like to say that about this event. training for leader managers. You have the opportunity to buy a ticket because there is some restriction on the number of people limited to attend this thing. And our musician mentioned, somebody mentioned about the insurance. You need to buy insurance to this company. You may buy together with the visa, and to visit the country you need insurance with you. Also, speaking about our region in particular, we may help you in our region, in Odessa, in Ukraine, to help visa for you. You come to our office and our manager will do this, will support you with visa. Also, so dear friends, I'd like to remind you that you can see on the slide everything related to India, OIP event manager, then the ticket and go, and there are family tickets too. If you visit and you go to this section on your cabinet and see the cost, and you will find everything in specifics. And we also want to congratulate the country that is the leader of the last week, that is the United States. Why? Because during this week, this country made the greatest turnover, had the greatest turnover, and I sincerely congratulate this country, and I want to boost other countries to join this competition, this friendly competition for the leadership, and to take their leading position during the first week of October this year. Also, all of you know very well that from the beginning the tickets to event were available from the beginning of this year. Many of our partners have bought a lot of such tickets, and therefore IT department organizes the technical opportunity for all of you. Those who have extra tickets for these visits could transfer these tickets to your partners, to your friends, to a different person. You will have this opportunity soon. In the near time, you follow your news through your personal cabinet, and when this is there, then you will have this opportunity. And very near. Now about the loyalty program. We cannot say anything about bonuses because we have 3 days of September, and therefore through our timetable that we on paying loyalty bonuses till 10th of day of every new month. Therefore, in the first week of October, we'll inform you through your personal cabinet about the size of the bonus and when it is paid to you. And it will be a pleasure for all of you to get this bonus for the company. And I see now that our friend joined us in this webinar. Armand was on the way. Now he had the connection to us. I mentioned today that I promoted his presentation today. This is a top leader of the president company because he is in the network, has international network. On each continent he has his leaders, his networks. Therefore he has for the last time he is our leading international speaker and presenter. I mentioned that he was evaluated by international organization as a leader. How this prize is called correctly, I will try to find out. The most motivational for this Financial Times version. He has taken part several times on personal growth trainings. Many of you have attended master classes organized by him, and you have positive results of this and then he will answer the questions that our partners may have.
Dear friends, hello to everyone. I'm hopeful that the internet connection will not fail us. Please write down 10 if you hear me perfectly, 1 if not, 4, 8. Do you see me? Do you hear me now? Even worse. Then, do you hear me now better? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Super. I do thank Maxim. Guys, please tell me the information you received today from all the speakers. Are you excited? Does it make you excited? If yes, please write down pluses. And while you are writing down pluses, I would like to thank Maxim, because actually there are very few people who know that Maxim was the person Andrei Fedorovich came the first, and actually he was not afraid to be responsible. And today I would like not simply to talk to you what responsibility is, but let's together do the following. You all heard what Andrei Fedorovich said, that according to his wish or the plans of the fund includes the idea that the first dividends, not the dividends actually, dividends we will have them when there is the license, so the first profit bonus to be 0.01 cent for each crypto unit. Have you heard this? If yes, please write down tens, if not 0. Great, everyone heard this. Oh, there are a lot of people that haven't heard this. If you haven't heard this, then we have our YouTube channel, Skyway Invest Group, where you can watch through all the summary webinars. And Andrei Khavratov actually mentioned this, but many partners of us would like to have 0.01 for each crypto unit, but actually everyone distracts this from the context, simply this phrase, and do not hear what Andrei said before and after this figure. And now I would like to pay your attention to the following. Yes, it could happen, and it could happen when we have at least 5 million people. This is the so-called critical mass of people for us to enter this or that product into the market. 1 cent. I do apologize. Yes, you're right. 1 cent. Yes, 0.1. 1 cent. And for this we need 5 million people. And for this we need the portfolio created by the Academy of Private Investor and by Andrei Khavratov in particular and Igor Romanenko and their team, for them to work to expand and develop those domains or sectors with the fastest rate of return, with the fastest return on investments, which are most profitable. This is their objective actually and task. Our task as their partners is to organize this critical mass of people, of 5 million, as Andrei Fedorovich said. And my question is, what do you think whether what Andrei announced is possible, that in accordance with the plan, or they plan to pay the first dividends in the amount of 1 cent, but all the other conditions, are we to consider them or are we not to consider them? So you cannot simply come and buy the unit and expect that tomorrow you will, from the sky, you will get something. Yes, from 8 to 35% from the profit, not from the turnover, because the profit is what actually determines the opportunity or the chance of paying dividends. Let's call it profit bonus, unless we get all the licenses we need. Well, my request to all of you, now I appeal to all of you, dear friends. If needed, in order for the table to stand still, it needs 4 legs. If one leg is out, then the leg is not stable anymore. It will tremble. And imagine that today we have a portfolio, 1 leg, this is our 1 leg. We also have today the people, but not so many people as we need. We are far away from the figure we aim at. And in addition, we have the legal component or element which must be carried out within some period of time. So there is someone who's doing this. And our task, joint task, is to make sure that all the responsible persons or departments work, how to say it correctly in the Russian language, work fully. And we're fully engaged and contributed all their efforts into this role. And we, dear friends, we are responsible for performing our role, for playing our role. Today, if I'm not mistaken, today the crypto unit program has about 300,000 people. Approximately 40 plus about roughly 90,000 people as our registration. So these are our newbies over the last months. And before that, we had the figure, but the active partners, if we calculate them all, I think we will have about 10% only. And the reason I'm saying this is Maxim actually told you how all our directors and leaders, how we came here. There was one event which actually changed our lives. And for example, Petrus' life, when he from the stage says that he is the highest paid electrician because he used to work as an electrician. Now, this guy is making thousands of registrations a day with his team, of course. But you all remember Petru before the event and after the event. And my question to all of you, how do you think, what do you think Petru did or heard? What did he do or did he hear that empowered him to make an international team? Because today his team is being developed in at least dozens of countries of the globe today. What do you think in Yahanty? There was a training in Yahanty delivered by Andrei Fedorovich. What he was sitting with all the other people in the audience, and there were about 100 people, and why out of 100 people hearing the same information, one person receives the results and becomes successful, but all the others not? Why? Why do you think? So 5 meetings a day started to apply the knowledge. We need to have more partners to get 0.1 or at least 7 years to bring so many people. Maybe he heard something others didn't hear, so he is excited. He is very energetic. He started to act immediately. Large dreams. Actually, he accepted the responsibility onto his shoulders. And only after accepting responsibility and everything you mentioned, these are the precise actions. I would like to share one interesting thought with you. We once had a chat with my wife, Olga, at the table, and she started to tell me about having some tools, or about the availability of some tools which may give us some passive income of $10,000 a month. Who would like today to learn how you can get your income? And please note that this income is paid by a bank. This is a banking institution which daily, monthly, pays you an income of $10,000. Do we have other people that would like to learn this? Yes, everyone actually wants to know this. Well, you see, now I will tell you, I will share with you, I will tell you, imagine that there is one thing as getting money free of charge simply for your keeping money in one institution. You are paid for this. And, well, I aim at the following. Many people do not believe that it is possible. Many people actually doubt that the financial world operates this way, that it generates profit when you are sleeping. I'm not referring to the network. I'm not referring to the multi-crowd investing. I'm referring to the knowledge you all get from your backup office. These are the knowledge about investments. So imagine for a situation. Today, there are people, and by the way, my question is, who of you earns at your job less than $800 per month? Please highlight yourselves. Write down pluses at your jobs. Less than $800 per month. Please write this down. Great. Well, we have the people that 500 make 500, 600, 500 will be even more, that's for sure. And no matter which country you are living, you can, these $500 get when you go to your work, to your job. You go there, and what do? You work for 8 hours there, and 1 hour for commuting to your job and backwards. So altogether, 10 hours of your time, you replace it, so you translate it into $500, and then it takes you 10, 20, 30 years, and you are a pensioner. And what do you expect then? Again, you will get about $100, $150 per month. And my question is, when shall we start living a normal and decent life? When can we do it? And now imagine a different story. You have some knowledge that help you through the tools of the multi-crowd investing, through crypto unit. They empower you and help you to have every day you fall asleep, and early in the morning you have $20 or $30 on your account. Let's take the example of $30. So accordingly you get $30, and this is a daily practice. And you realize that you don't have to work to your job anymore because you earn the same money. You can actually, these 10 hours, invest into something else. And my question to all of you, what will you invest your 10 hours into? Imagine $900 per month, but not $500. So and imagine this place and these things are a reality. I am trying from different angles to treat you with very simple information, which is as follows. Each of you today is a multimillionaire. Each of you is a multimillionaire today. The question is, how will you use your finances? How will you be able to multiply what you got, or at least preserve what you already earned? And the reason I'm saying this, we had a chat with my wife, Olga, at breakfast, and she told me, imagine, please, that the whole system we know where we are, it was built by someone else. And we started to reflect on it, to think about this. And actually she said, when people come to their jobs, how many of you got the position, and how many of you immediately after graduating from your school or university immediately came to one job stating that I would like to become the CEO of this organization, the Director General of this organization. I see 3 persons, and please write down a plus to indicate those of you who came to some job with the desire to get any job possible, no matter which one. For example, I will clean the dust, I will be a waiter. So do we have such people? Have you ever experienced this? And well, look, what is interesting. The people which graduate from some school, educational institution, they come with the potential to do the actions which actually Petru does today. Do you understand what I mean? Everyone has this potential. I'm simply citing Petru as an example because you know him quite well. You know his background, how he started, how he grew. He is a bright example. And please imagine, a guy like Petru graduated from his educational institution and aims immediately at the highest senior position in a company, the CEO position, or the Department of Multi-Crowd Investing. So this is the leadership. These are the leadership skills he would like to use, but he may not know how to do it now. And what people do, which can actually work the same way in any company. Let's take an example of any company, Lukoil, for example. You go there and say that I can start from scratch here. But the reason I'm saying all this is that people always start in their lives outside the multi-crowd investing. So they start their lives outside investments. They start from the down lines, from what they find to be easy. And this easy actually suffocates us. We are drowned in this easy job. We start doing something, we earn some money, and step by step you are assimilated in this position and you can earn your living, and to some extent you may even rent 1-bedroom apartment and you can support yourself. But the problem is that a person do not want to take a next step higher. And now let's discuss a different situation. Imagine a businessman. Do we have businessmen here? Please write down 1 if you are a businessman, if you are an entrepreneur. Do we have them? Yes, we do. And my question to you, dear businessman, when you set up your business, could you afford not immediately to have some dealings with your partners, negotiations with your banks, or find the appropriate suppliers, or where to supply? Or did you come immediately to an office, be seated in your armchair, and started to think that I must clean some dust here, sweep the floor, or you recruited someone for doing this tiny job instead of you? Do you understand what I mean? Well, each of you, where you feel yourself as a leader, you must understand that stop doing tiny jobs, tiny actions. You can do everything. You are skillful in everything. You know how to deliver a presentation, how to make a rendezvous, how to bring a person to a webinar, to any event. You know all this, but you do not apply these skills. And now I'm approaching actually what I started from.
So today we are, say, 300,000 people. And what is the probability that the amount stated, or the coefficient stated by Andrei Fedorovich, he plans and wishes to give us 1 cent for 1 crypto unit to each of us? Is it feasible or not? Then we need to increase it 10 times, at least, to become as close as possible to 5 million people. What do you think about entrepreneurs? If you don't do anything today, could you do it today only using the portfolio of this through the Academy for Private Investors? You will not, we will not. Then what we need to do to achieve this? There is some probability, but very low, that then what we can do, we are 300,000. Let's imagine that each one takes commitment as an entrepreneur, each of us, to tell at least to one person every day, to one only. Do you understand this? What I mean? To one person. Then in 30 days at least you will share this opportunity with 30 persons. Since we have 47% of people in our fund who are registered and who learn about this opportunity, 47% of conversion, they take the decision to get involved, to cooperate. And the minimum payment is about 1,000 units, 1,000 units, to say it roughly. Then can you calculate 47% of 30, from 30? It's at least 10, then multiply 300,000 by 10, and you will have 3 million people. And this is only for during 1 month only. And only in that case, when our attitude to this business is so serious, then that will give us the opportunity to get in reality what Andrei Fedorovich wishes to give us. And he keeps his word. He sticks to his word in reality. you can see today that crypto unit program and the portfolio are growing. Together with Igor Romanenko and his team, they are doing very great things today. Do you understand what I mean? I say that Andrei Fedorovich today has some partners who, working together with us, they give you the share in their business. I will give you another because I see that not all of you understand me. You know very well that recently we bought part of business of Alisianovsky, Sushi Master. Now, don't write it now, but your task is to understand what I'm talking about. You know about, all of you, you know about this. And then my question is, are you a co-owner of this or not? You are. Excellent. Now, let us imagine that we didn't have SWIG, you didn't have the opportunity to participate in crypto unit program. What would be the probability for you through your friends or to write directly to Alex saying that you want to bring $10,000 to become part of his business? What is the probability for you to do it? This is zero, actually. Zero probability. And I would say to you that I communicate with a lot of businessmen today, and I don't say that we are doing the things which are unbelievable. These things have not been offered before. But what happens in reality? We ignore this, and what we want to do for you to buy something, some educational courses, you get the bonus in crypto units, we get this, and then we sit in idle and saying, you work for me, and as of from next year, I want to receive as much money, helping me to retire already now. But many of you do not understand, do not compare this. If you are work at workplaces, at 40 years you will not get this at all. No way, so as to say. I like what is written here. You have to invest up to 10,000. Then Denis, when you come to Avanti, when you learn, Andrei Fedorovich Kovratov clearly state that the first double bonuses for bonus profit and for loyalty will be given to those who come to Avanti. Accordingly, all other will receive, but not the double bonus. But I hope very much that I help to understand this. What is the rate of this? It depends on the portfolio. Well, and I see that today Andrei Fedorovich Avratov and the team is dealing with investments. They are working from early morning until midnight, so that this portfolio gives a good growth permanently. But I see that our partners today ignore the fact they should make their input. But let's do the following thing. Together with you, we should understand that we are not some small minor persons or cogs in the machine. We are all co-owners of this company. We together with you, make our impact or directly on what would be the outcome of this investment portfolio. We are the people who are bringing new ideas to this market. The market, 10% of them are already there, investors, businessmen, they know how money makes money. And what you don't understand that money makes money in reality, this is your right. You may learn how to do it, or you may say, nobody does it, and this is something fantastic, a fantasy. So my message to you today is as follows. Please do it in such ways that as if it were your company, your business. You are a small part of this company. You own everything in this company in proportion to what you have done. All of you today are the first in the world co-investors of the portfolio. You are the people who obtain these opportunities. Sometimes they have to do the minimum input of investment of $100,000. But let's do together. And I speak for this SWIG company and crypto unit program, to make them feasible to implement naming. This is about why we should become profitable, rich. This is naming. And I want to call upon you to visit this event that is organized in India, in Indira Gandhi Stadium. That will be unbelievable, and a lot of you will become even tougher, better leaders compared to Jamila, me, Maxim, Petru. Some of you even may become better than Andrei Fedorovich. This is up to you. You can do it. What we can do, we can give you knowledge, share the experience, and step-by-step actions, helping you to become. And that's where I want to wind up. And I hope this information I gave you, I shared with you. And I will ask Maxim now. You expect that Maxim will answer your questions. I will give the floor to him to answer your questions. Maxim, you are welcome. Get connected. And all the best to all of you. Questions? We may answer together the questions. I invite Romanenko, you, and those who were with us. Possibly Igor is not here in the room. So the questions were very different. Who is with us now? Yes, do you hear me now? Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you well. So there were questions related to investment portfolio with other related things. The first thing I would like to say is that I will not give you extended answers to your questions, because many of them were related to are related to the information that will be provided to the 5th anniversary. And you will have the answers to these if you attend this event, or after that through our information resources. Let's have a look at what we have now in the chart of these people. I see that we invested into Scripter Unit and Skyway. Why do we need this presentation from the leaders? Let's speak about the first real results. Why to waste our time for this event? Okay, if you start, you invested something not into Skyway, not in Crypto Unit. You acquired or bought, you received the legal access to education. Since you don't have bloggers licenses, you are not supported by a financial company, you don't have the right, according to the law, to invest. But through the fund, you receive this opportunity to become a co-owner. Then, speaking STO, as Andrei Fedorovich mentioned, this is in the process. If you look at his slides, he demonstrated them at this webinars. Then, from October to March next year, there will be the entrance to this. To understand what STO means. STO means, okay, to understand all this, I'd like to explain. STO, this is a process. The people who are doing business, you may agree and invest that I want to buy 10 kilos of gold, for instance, or whatever else, but the process of how to arrange it, it may take months. This is a legal component. And here, to move to STO, to use STO, the company with legal support should implement this. And in that case, it depends on us how to, by our fund, how to provide information where and which companies possess specific assets. As soon as the information goes there, then goes the legal component. Give this information to specific instance, and this instance is recognized or do not recognize your business. And only after that you can make evaluation and evaluate the real cost for you to understand the entire process. But in addition to that, we need a critical mass of people who would support it, not only support, but who are co-owners, as you are in this case, so that we together can affect different processes and to start to get the right to operate in the public market. This is what I wanted to say. Maxim, you want to add something? Yes, Arman, thank you. I want to add to this about the first outcomes or results Serge was asking about. The first results were available or have been available since long ago, because there are investment funds, the things where the company invested, and the results are there. So the issue about paying dividends, depending on the profitability, we know about this in Evanti. And our partners say, like here, there should be some intrigue. But this is not an issue of intrigue, but if you go through our webinars, we have always been talking about that all our companies face the task, a real task, to arrange everything legally in the form of a legal package, the structure of our fund, and to do it correctly, as we are doing since March this year. Nobody said that during this period of time we should give outcomes. Initially, then, when the program was started, it was declared that the basic work after the 5th anniversary was declared. But after Evanti, we provide special conditions for our clients, which were in March 2019. the clients of our SWIG fund and new clients in crypto unit program. And then the issue, and this period is the period preliminary big period when you are given special conditions. We stated that we will build a multi-story building. Now we have only a basement, and we are drafting the technical documentation to build the first floor, the third floor, etc. This is the example for you to understand that what is happening now in organizational issues. We have escaped only the pit for the basement. You switch off your microphone, otherwise there is reverberation. Now we made this foundation pit and declare to our clients that what we will build on this place. We will build a new a movable property facility here, so that you understand properly from the very beginning. And Avante will be a starting point where the company will declare all its specific roadmap as the company is going to work as a fully fledged investment holding, and with all legal information, everything related to this. You should understand that very well, because a lot of questions are related to as if this happened already, and we do not give you all information at the moment.
Well, I want to add what Maxim actually said, because it's true that the foundation pit has been only excavated, but we would like to be immediately at the top. Dear friends, STO is being actually prepared. It is the ongoing process. The white book and your questions about the white book, a part of this, we've seen it. Andrei already showed it to us. But we may not принять without exception by the Committee of Securities to offer these white or post this white book in the back offices, where you may download it, make screenshots and distribute it through the social media. If legally something is not decent, then please understand, you will damage the company yourselves. And since we are not the legal entity or structure which is well known to wide public, now I refer to investors, I refer to the companies that enter the markets and STO, they are not about crowd investing. And the people that are heading them will never do some unfair steps. I will give you an example. Please imagine today you have this white book in your hands and you will actually distribute it throughout the social networks. You will promote it to people to engage them into the business. This is a good tool, I agree, but unless it is not validated, unless this information is validated enough to be distributed among the third parties, this is a risk for the company. And therefore, before we provide access to this white book to all of you, it shall be validated and approved and coordinated with our lawyers and the Committee of Securities, certifying that, guys, everything is fine with you and you are empowered. So actually it is legal to do. Thank you, Armand. Dear friends, once again, a sec, please. Friends, again, those who may not understand the essence of what we are doing, please watch our expanded presentation, our webinars of August, where we shared all the details. I shared them myself, and they actually feature what we started from, what we did in the process, and which program we moved to. Because the summary actually meeting aims at those clients and partners that are already deep in the topic, that follow the news of the company. And even in the chat, you may see that there are people who clearly understand what we are talking about, and there are some hesitant people that may not understand fully what I'm saying. Therefore, I strongly encourage you to rewatch the information we shared with you over the last few months. And the negative things you are writing down in the chat, or some doubts you may have, but please believe me that 2-3 weeks after, you will get the answers to all your questions, after officially the company announces all its novelties related to our follow-up development of crypto unit program. Therefore, I strongly recommend to you to do what Armand actually said and Jamila Samambekova said, and what I told you as well. Please focus all your attention on your coming to the main yearly event SWIG. This is the most important to all of us, simply because of one reason, because everything we do it through multi-crowd investing, and this is our major tool in our work and in the formation of the global investment portfolio. And this is actually the reason why today we made this webinar. And those of you who may not understand this still, then maybe you may still be our clients and live the life you are satisfied with, simply getting the bonuses the company offers to you as our clients. And you are not in the right bus. It may be another thing, actually. So now I will answer the constructive questions I see in your chats, and then we are looking forward to meeting all of you at the event in October. Armand, aren't you against this agenda? Great. Well, Alec is asking, will there be the decline of our shares at the stock exchange? Alec, well, look, when we get the liquidity of tokens of the company in stock exchange, then their liquidity will be partly, and you cannot sell it in packages. If you bought a package of $53, you may not actually sell the same package of $53. Actually, your question is quite appropriate, and we've anticipated all this, and the information about this will be shared at the event. A part of the package which could be sold by a person. We all understand that the market sometimes may be deep down, even at the very beginning. And all these things, all these concerns are about the prevention of our clients of down trading our tokens, our packages. And I can tell you now that the selling of packages as you buy them, as you bought them, we will not have it. So we've already anticipated this. What Alex is writing. Gera Danchenko, what can we post in the social media? Because there are prohibition on everything. Actually, it's not the case. Mira, we ban or we prohibit you to post you have some personal pictures, videos, some personal landing tools, and you can promote, so you promote there. well, how to word it correctly. A partner, you are a partner that, so actually we prohibit our partners to distribute non-accurate information, and everything which is officially posted in the official web resources of Skyway and our fund website, you can repost this, but we do encourage you not to leave any comments, some exciting comments and statements, because you may be positive while writing this, but the modality in other countries, they can perceive it as you are insulting them. So we ban to use personal photo and video related to your encouragement to support and promote the technology. Today, I told you, one partner of us asked us, how should I invite the people? And my question, counteraction is, where do you want to invite them? We are not inviting people to Skyway. We are not inviting them anywhere. We are selling, first of all, the access to the training products. And all the other stuff is the bonus program. And you must clearly understand this. Nikolai, can you please stop the chat, because the questions are jumping and I may not grab the question. Start reading and immediately it disappears. There was a question from Alex and I've lost it. Andrei is asking, what did I post in social media and etc., and why are your videos still accessible in YouTube? Andrei, well, your question is about your video in YouTube. Video which I made in Shanghai. Actually, Anatoly Yunitsky allowed me to do it. And at that time, only the foundation pit was excavated, was made. And before posting it in YouTube, I asked for the permission of Andrei Yunitsky. And at that time, the works were only at the early stage and no further additional information is available. So the prohibition and ban is on the posting and provision of non-validated information. If you look attentively at the restriction which we introduced since the 27th or 26th of September, this is a prohibition on the provision of non-qualified, non-approved and validated information, inaccurate information. And therefore, these videos, which are our history and for which we get the permissions of the management of the company, they are available, they can be accessible, and there will be quite soon 1 year since they're available on the channel. But now we are saying about what is happening at this particular moment. Therefore, we strongly recommend you to abstain from some exciting statements. Maxim, I found one question in the chat. Yes, please, the floor is yours. From Yelena, Havratov said that we plan to enter the stock exchange in October. What is this dependent on? The payment of dividends, because the people aim at these deadlines. If I understood you correctly, your question is about the following. Andrei Havratov said, if you rewatch once again the summary webinar of Andrei Havratovich, he said the following. The steps, the stages of entering STO will be from October to March. And we would like a lot to make sure that by the 5th anniversary of our event, we would like to be officially on the market. But he didn't promise you 100% that we will be there. So you misperceived this information. Andrei said that from October to March, and we would do our best to be on the market by the date we celebrate our 5th anniversary. It would be great. But he was hopeful. But imagine that you are sending some money to a foreign country and tell the bankers that you would like your money to be received tomorrow. And you will see what you face. They will answer. There are some realistic procedures the money shall go through to receive the destination. And the same applies to STO, which includes and involves our partners, lawyers, and a number of processes, procedures. So this is an ongoing process. And this process may last 1 month and even 6 months. And therefore, Andrei Fedorovich, and in his slide, if you come back to his summary webinar, actually he indicates this, that from October to March 2020, it will be the STO process. I'm hopeful that I managed to answer your question. Yes, Maxim, the floor is yours. Dear colleagues, I've seen another 2 questions. The first one is about the use of referrals. Yes, you may use your referrals, your links, if you are in the partnership program, but I'm saying that landings where one promotes these Skyway technologies, these landings are prohibited for use. But your referral links could be provided to a personal account to any person through any messenger, and please build up your business. And in crypto unit program, we never talk about the crypto unit program specifically states that we support in our portfolio, we have a share of Skyway company in our portfolio, and that is all. Maxim, I found a question from Palinka. You said that dividends will be in August, then in October. Then, once again, I will repeat it again for everyone to understand, and we'll start from saying the following. For you to understand what dividends are. A dividend is a legal term which actually announces that some percent of the profits of the company, net profits of the company, are paid to all the co-owners or to shareholders. This is a meaning of the term dividend. How can we pay the dividends if our legal environment prevents us from calling this as a dividend? And therefore we say that payment of dividends in August, October and September will not be carried out, so they will not be paid. But actually no one prevents us to pay a share of something from the incomes, and therefore Andrei Fedorovich used a different term, bonus profit. There is the income in the loyalty program, but now it will be called bonus profit. But we all influence how large and bulky this bonus profit will be. And therefore, I advise to all of you to make one simple step. Please take a pen and a paper and write down the figure which Andrei Romanenko today announced about the cost of the portfolio. Divide this figure So simply, not the cost of the portfolio, but the money already attracted. The cost of the portfolio is a different thing. So take this figure, deduct 10%, then take this 10% and divide them by all the tokens. And you get a coefficient, a ratio, which you must multiply by the points you have in your back office. Now I'm referring to your crypto unit points, and you will get the amount which is to be payable to you under this bonus profit. But now let's take the portfolio. Does this portfolio generate the same amount of money or less? Let's assume that it is twice smaller, because they should be profits. And now you do the same thing, and you will be convinced that 1 cent for 1 crypto unit point is to get it. Actually, it is not realistic. Why? Simply because we haven't prepared the soil properly, as Andrei planned. When we start STO, that we all together, when we buy in the market, will create the value. And then it turns out that the company, Crypto Unit Inc., will post its crypto units at the stock exchange, where the price is not 1 cent, not 10 cents, but $1, $1. And then this 10%, which today we are selling at a cheaper price today, because this is in a closed club, but afterwards we will sell it at a more expensive price and get this profit and pay the dividends from this, but only when we have the legal environment required for calling it as the dividends. And therefore, all of you, all dear friends, will see after the event those obligations and meeting of the obligations Andrei Fedorovich announced in his webinar. And I'm hopeful that I managed to answer this question, and we will never come back to it again. Thank you, Armand. Tatiana actually wrote it correctly. Study, study, and study even further. And many answers to the questions you are asking now are already throughout our history since the launch of the Crypto Unit program in the presentations and webinars. Alexander is asking, please explain the difference between the referral link and landing. A referral includes the content of information with your login and website of Skyway Invest Group, where you make your referral. A person is registered in the website of Skyway Invest Group, but landing, this is your hidden link where you can put any information, and this like a whirlwind, and when a person comes to the course of the financial intelligence, and after the registration he understands that he will be referred to the website of Skyway Invest Group and get registered. Landing is the envelope of your referral, and this envelope or external envelope may be different. So there may be about 20 landings depending on the peculiarity of your clients. And there were a lot of landings about the transport technologies, and I talked about these things, these landings. Now, do you understand what I meant when I told you that referrals can be used while landings cannot? Well, friends, in terms of Ghana gold. Dear colleagues, you follow the information, and many times we announced our investment schedule on our investments to this or that domain, or the increases in these investments. If you remember the video of Maxim Gafiak from the place where he audited the company of the gold mining company, and the event will also feature this information as well, because this is one of our priority domains in our investment portfolio. And if you remember, we have the objectives to make a closed cycle in this domain from mining and the manufacture of finished products, jewelry, gold jewelry. Well, dear friends, actually it is 5 minutes to 3 p.m. and in terms of the live translation, actually live broadcast from the event, I'm not ready to answer your question now. The only thing I can tell you is that for the time being, live broadcast hasn't been anticipated, and actually this is an event to be visited personally. Well, I would like to thank you for the attention paying to yourselves first of all, because this event, as I told you, actually highlights our activities this month in the business we are doing. We are creating the global portfolio in our crypto unit program, and our clients are co-owners of this portfolio. And your presence, dear friends, here, actually you invested this time into yourselves. Therefore, I do thank you all. I would like to wish to all of you, our dear colleagues, partners, clients, successful development and successful completion of this month, because we provided very good instruments and tools for you to grow your career path and use those bonuses which we now provide to everyone, a discount for buying units, and you still have some time to use this opportunity. And therefore, I wish to all of you the successful realization in this business, and the tools offered by SWIG, they are for your convenience and help. For those partners that haven't decided yet to buy a ticket to Eventi, you still have this opportunity. You still have enough time lag to purchase the tickets and to arrange your transportation to that event, to book your accommodation at this event. So please focus on this and don't forget to get prepared. And I would like to tell you, dear friends, once again, I would like to remind you that by the 15th of October, you have a chance to be active, to use the promotion under the express qualification program. All the tools, you've been equipped with all the tools, and all these tools aim at achieving your personal success. And actually, this is the rule of your destiny, to use all this. Do not waste your time, please. Ahead, we will have a significant and fabulous event. Let's invest our time to get prepared for this event, visit it, and afterwards to start a new track of your personal development and of our joint development and growth as SWIG company. And we will achieve and make the dreams of SWIG company, of your dreams and the new dreams reality. So looking forward to meeting you again, and looking forward to our next meetings in October this year. Bye-bye. From my end, dear friends, I would like to finish by saying the following. You all today, actually, while being here, felt that what large businessmen call the meeting of the shareholders. Imagine there are companies where people wear smart suits and on a quarterly basis they come together to review what is happening to the company, where they are as the shareholders of this company. And such events, I saw one comment from someone that the webinars are nonsense and of no use. Maybe you find them useless. So actually this is your right to have this idea, this belief. But from my end, I would like to show to you a different side of the coin. There are these so-called meetings of the shareholders where they discuss all this and look which direction the company is developing to. But we are actually following this format with your involvement. And I would like you, 322 people I see in the Russian-speaking chat and all the others, to realize that this is the webinar for you as the co-owners of this large investment portfolio. And please report this to your partners, to your clients, the way we did it here. We are grateful to all of you that at some moment you decided to support, that at some moment you didn't stay indifferent to the ideas of Andrei Fedorovich about new economic evolution of the world. And I'm grateful to all of you for, even if we have one person here who understands all the prospects in this business, I can assure you that we will do it together. And you know that we will do it much faster when we are together rather than alone. So therefore, my appreciation to all of you for staying with us, for being here, for being an active partner, a leader, and as Maxim said, you have everything in your hands, all the cards in your hands, to be a leader and winner in this game. Enjoy your weekends, enjoy the working week, and looking forward to meeting you again. And many of you I will meet at Eventi 2019. Bye-bye. Take care. My name was Maxim, Armand, Jamila, and Petru. Bye-bye. And enjoy yourself.